the quiet war for our life. Most people drift through life like leaves in the wind. They wake up, they work, they sleep, and somewhere along the way they begin to believe that this slow drift is normal. But it isn't normal, it's surrender. There's a quiet war happening every day for the direction of our life. Not a war fought with weapons, but with choices, with habits, with discipline, with the invisible standards we choose to live by. And the truth is brutally simple. Life does not improve by accident. Life improves by design. Most people wait for circumstances to change before they change themselves. They say they will become disciplined once things get easier. They will pursue greatness once they feel motivated. They will build a better life once opportunity arrives. But opportunity does not visit the unprepared. The world rewards those who become more than what they were yesterday. Not the loudest person in the room, not the luckiest, not even the most talented. The one who grows. Because success is not some mystical event that descends from the sky. It is simply the natural result of becoming the kind of person capable of carrying it. And that is where most people fail. They chase results while ignoring the person they must become to produce those results. They want the wealth without the discipline, the confidence without the self-mastery, the success without the daily grind that forges it. But life does not work that way. Results are the shadow of the person we are becoming. Change the person, and the results follow. Stay the same, and the results remain the same. This is the brutal honesty most people refuse to face. If our life has not changed, it is because we have not changed. If our results are stagnant, it is because our growth has stalled. And growth requires something that the modern world tries desperately to numb us away from. Responsibility, not blame. Responsibility. The moment we take full responsibility for our life, everything begins to change. Because when responsibility enters the room, excuses die. And excuses are the chains that keep people average. Excuses whisper that we were unlucky. Excuses whisper that someone else had advantages. Excuses whisper that the world is unfair. And maybe it is, but fairness has never built a single great life. Only responsibility has. The moment we stop blaming the world, we reclaim power. Because the moment we say, "This is my life to build," we become dangerous. Dangerous to mediocrity. Dangerous to stagnation. Dangerous to every limitation that once held us still. But responsibility alone is not enough. Responsibility must be followed by discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and transformation. It is the ability to do what must be done, even when emotion tries to sabotage us. Because motivation is a visitor, discipline is a resident. Motivation shows up when things feel exciting. Discipline shows up when things feel heavy. Motivation appears when the path looks easy. Discipline walks forward when the path is steep. And the people who change their lives are not the ones who feel motivated every day. They're the ones who have trained themselves to move forward, whether motivation arrives or not. They have learned the secret most people never discover. Small actions, repeated, consistently, build extraordinary lives. A single disciplined hour today does not seem powerful. A single improvement in mindset does not seem powerful. A single decision to grow does not feel dramatic. But stacked over months, stacked over years, these small decisions compound into something unstoppable. This is the silent mathematics of success. Tiny improvements multiplied by time become passive transformation. Yet most people sabotage themselves by looking for dramatic change instead of consistent change. They want breakthroughs without the boring work, but life rewards those who respect the boring work. The daily reading, the daily discipline, the daily improvement. These are quiet rituals that reshape destiny. Because the truth is, success is not built in a day. It is built in the invisible hours nobody sees. And the person who understands this becomes unstoppable, not because they are special, but because they have embraced a principle that governs everything. We must become more to receive more. If we want better income, we must become more valuable. If we want better relationships, we must become more mature. If we want better opportunities, We must become more prepared. Life does not hand rewards to those who want them. Life hands rewards to those who grow into them. And growth requires something that most people avoid: personal development. Reading, learning, reflecting, studying, feeding the mind with ideas that sharpen perspective and expand possibility. Because the mind we had 5 years ago cannot build the life we want tomorrow. It must evolve. This is why the most successful individuals in history all share one habit: they never stop becoming students. They study life, they study success, they study failure. And every lesson they learn becomes another weapon in their arsenal of growth. While others waste hours consuming distractions, they invest hours consuming wisdom. And over time, the gap between them and the average person becomes enormous. Not because they were born different, but because they fed their mind differently. This is the hidden power of philosophy. Ideas shape behavior, behavior shapes habits, habits shape destiny. Which means the quality of the ideas we allow into our mind will determine the quality of life we build. And this is why guarding our mental environment is so critical. If we fill our mind with negativity, our outlook becomes negative. If we fill our mind with laziness, our habits become lazy. But if we fill our mind with vision, discipline, and possibility, we begin to operate at a completely different level. We begin to expect more from ourselves, and expectation changes everything. Because once a person truly expects more from themselves, they stop tolerating the behavior that once kept them small. They stop accepting mediocrity. They stop negotiating with weakness. They raise their personal standards. And standards are the invisible rules that determine the direction of our life. Some people have standards that tolerate laziness. Others have standards that demand excellence. The difference between these two groups is not talent, it is standards. Standards determine how early we wake up. Standards determine how hard we work. Standards determine how we treat others and how we treat ourselves. Raise the standards and life rises with them. Lower the standards and life begins to collapse. This is why greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It is reserved for those who decide the average is no longer acceptable. Those who say, I will become more disciplined. I will become more focused. I will become more intentional. And then they back those words with action every day. Not perfectly, but consistently. Because perfection is not required. Consistency is. Consistency is the hammer that shapes character. And character is the foundation of every great life. So the question is not whether opportunity exists. The question is whether we are becoming the kind of person capable of recognizing it, seizing it, and expanding it. Are we growing? Are we learning? Are we strengthening the habits that will carry us forward? Or are we drifting through the years hoping something changes? Because time will pass regardless. The years will move whether we use them or waste them. But the person who commits to growth will look back one day and see something extraordinary. Not luck, not coincidence, but a life carefully built, one disciplined decision at a time. And that is the true power hidden within us. The power to decide who we become, the power to raise our standards, the power to build a life that reflects the highest versions of ourselves. The world does not need more people drifting through life. The world needs people who take command of it, people who refuse mediocrity, people who grow stronger, wiser, and more disciplined every passing year. Because when a person commits to becoming more, the future begins to open up, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable.